Let's look at some of this computer coding vocab stuff we're going to be using. The program we're going to use when you get back, it's on the lab's desktop computers in a folder called Programs folder, and we're looking for the program called Robot C. It's robot coding, and we use the version 4 point whatever. I guess 4.5 yeah, up to now, so it's 4.x Robot C. Open that up. There's two options. There's the graphical one and the Robot C for Vex Robotics. This one we're going to use this quarter, the Robot C for Vex Robotics. So open this up. Again, from home, you can't do this. You can only kind of watch along. But when you get back to school, then we use it. All right, so going to kind of watch along for now. So here's our program. It kind of has the same look to your program you used last year for computer coding called Tinker, but not really. So I'm going to go to a new file. So last year for computer coding, on this part of our screen, the Tinker program is kind of where the character sat up here. You had a little play button. You had code bricks you could bring in, and you coded for the character. And when you press play, they did little things. Here, kind of the same thing. All of our codes are in categories. We'll bring them across to our little build zone, and we'll build our code in here. But this program can run for multiple classes. There's a high school version of robotics, a middle school version. There's like a third, fourth, fifth grade version. We're going to use a middle school version for robotics. So we have to go up to our robot software and make sure you have the right platform picked, that we have the VEX 2.0 Cortex. This is we're going to see in a few days. This is the actual little brain or the processor for robots we're going to use. And using the one here called Natural Language Project Lead the Way. These are both picked, so I'm in the correct program. And most of our codes come from the natural language category. It's kind of like when you had a real language with Swanson. She probably didn't teach you every word available in German or French or Spanish. Just a few that got you by for the quarter. Kind of us too. There's so many more code words we're not going to get to. The ones we're going to use, we're going to focus on for this quarter. All right. For instance, most of our robots are run by motors. We have the motors turn on and the motors turn off to move and turn and spin. And they're going to be in the movement box. I have one code word. I'll click, drag, drop it, called start motor. And this kind of main purpose is to, of course, turn the motor on. Kind of like when your parents go to the car, they put the key in the ignition and they turn the key to start the engine or turn it off, stop the engine. We are starting a motor. It's asking us for, hey, which port do you want me to turn on? Your motors, we can have up to 10 motors running at once. So which motor do you want me to run? And then at what speed? So start motor command, its main job is to turn the motor on, power the motor on, get the motor spinning. Opposite one is one called stop motor. This one, of course, turns the motor off. So the motor can start and spin at a certain speed. The motor can stop and shut down. We use codes to kind of have the program run for a certain amount of time. That's going to be our wait codes. Think of it like if you're asked to, hold on here, moves here, okay. If you're asked to say, stand on 1 foot, okay, maybe for science, stand on 1 foot. So if a teacher goes, hey, stand on 1 foot for 1 minute and then stop. So you would do what you were doing, right, for this amount of time. So the wait command pretty much is a timing command. It tells the computer or the robot to keep doing what you were doing for a certain amount of time. So these three codes use quite a bit. Start the motor, let it run, stop the motor. Okay. Other codes we're going to use too are some until codes. We use one called until bump. We use one called until dark. It's an until light. We use one called until release. The one we're going to use. We're going to use one called until touch. And we use these potentiometer ones, but not right now. So what do they all mean? Well, these untils pretty much say, hey, nothing's going to happen until something is completed. It's kind of like saying if you were grounded, right? And hey, can I go outside? Not until your time's been elapsed. Right now, hey, can I get back to school? Not until we are clear to go back to school. So untils wait for something to happen before they move on. So the until bump, this is looking for a switch to be pressed in and let go. So we're gonna use little switches. See if I can get one open here for you in the background. Oops, lost it. We're back, but not really. Let's go one more time. Okay, so if you open up this page here, we use, let's go Vex Robotics. So we're going to use a device called a limit switch, and kind of this little bar is a little button, and when the button is pressed in and let go, that is considered an until bump. That means when the button's pressed in and let go. If you go to a doorbell, you press it, you let it go. An app on your screen of your phone is tapped, but it's pressed and let go. Pressed and let go is until bump. Until dark, this is one that talks about when the level of light is brighter than our dark threshold. So some of you have maybe an automatic light in your house that turns on when it gets dark enough. That's the opposite. So the until light code says when the level of light drops far enough, then do it. The dark says, hey, when light gets bright enough, then do it. So they're kind of opposite. Dark looks for it to get brighter. Light looks for it to get dark enough. So your lights in your house that turn on by themselves are kind of an until dark, until light kind of a process. Until release, this assumes a button is being held in. So the button's held in, light doesn't turn on. When it's let go, then light turns on. Your refrigerator, right? Right now, your door's closed in your fridge, possibly. My guess is the light on the inside of the fridge is turned off. Why? Because a button is being held in by the door. So until that button's let go, the light cannot turn on. The until touch, same thing, refrigerator light. When that button is pressed in and held in, until touch. Until touch means pressed and held in. So your refrigerator says, until touch, turn the light off. When the button's let go, turn the light on. So here's some basic code words we're going to use for the quarter. Start to learn kind of what they do. They're not that challenging to figure out. Starting of a motor, stopping of a motor, keep doing what you're doing. These untils are all conditions, saying when the button's pressed and let go, like a doorbell. Until lights and darks kind of act like a photo sensor on a automatic light. And these release and touch ones are kind of like your refrigerator. The button's held in, light turns off. Buttons let go, light turns on. All right, there's a look at the vocab for Robot C.